Yes, hello students. We have come to the next part of this organization and population chapter. We have already covered up in the previous classes about the attributes of this population, and where we have learned about the age distribution, we have learned about the population density, and where we have come across the terminologies like birth rate, that is the natality, death rate, mortality, and also we have come across the immigration and emigration, right? So now after that we will see over here the different aspects of these growth models. So now we will be explaining over here the two models, that is we will plot in the graph. That is, number one is the exponential growth and number two is the logistic growth. So today, first of all, in this video, let me start with the exponential growth, and we will be drawing the graph over here. So I will explain you first and then I will go to the graph. So now if you can see, I have already mentioned over here what is the meaning of this exponential growth. What is the meaning of exponential? Means all of a sudden, if there is an increase in population, that is we call as an exponential increase. Now why it is taking place? First of all, this is actually according to the theory of Darwin. We know Darwin actually gave the theory for natural selection. Now that actually says that it's a very important over here to know that if the resource, what we talk about the resource, we talk about the resource related to the food availability, related to the environment, as well as the soil or the land, the water, the temperature. These are the related source or the resources which is available to the biotic component. And if the resources are unlimited, that means the population shows a remarkable increase. So this is actually the theory for natural selection by Darwin has given. Suppose for example, we have a population this much, right? The population is explained or diagrammatically represented like this. Now for this population, the resource, if we talk about surrounding this population, is maximum. Now this resource can be the food, this resource can be the temperature, this resource can be the space. Now if there is an availability of all these resources in a proper manner, rather more than that, then we see there is an increase in this population. So what will happen? The whatever will be the organisms, they will keep on reproducing. So in this case, what will happen? There will be the increase in population, or else we can say here the reproductive rate will be increasing. Okay, so here this resource is available in an unlimited manner, and because of that we see the habitat is also increasing, right? There is unlimitation in the habitat. Each and every species over here, we are not talking about only one species, so we will talk about over here all species. So that means they all are available with maximum amount of space, temperature and food, among which the space and the food along with the water is very essential for a particular reproductive rate. So all the species will be growing in an uncontrolled way, and it has the potential to grow and reproduce at its maximum. The reproductive rate will be more. This is actually growing in the fashion of, or in the particular system, in a geometric ratio, right? Geometric progression. So that means geometric progression means if a particular organism, if we take suppose a bacteria, one bacteria, this bacteria will grow into 2. These 2 will be growing into 4. And we can see the multiplication rate over here. This 4, it will become 8. Then it will become 16. It will become 32. So this is what we call as a geometric progression. And in this case, we see the lots of population is increasing for a particular organism. So here, if we try to just first express this one and plot it in a graph, then what shall we do? Suppose we say the rate of population density. So what is population density we know. So now if we talk about this rate of change in population density with time, rate of change means we have to consider this time. So let us take the population density. We all know that we have already learned in the previous part, which is represented as n, right? And the time we are representing as t. So dn by dt, that is actually revealing the rate of change in population density with time. So in this case, this will be increasing and we will get a particular formula. So dn by dt is equals to b minus d. This is multiplied with the population density, that is n. So we can say that this is the rate of change in the population density with time. So we have to calculate, and this is the figure which we will calculate by subtracting b minus d. Here b is known as the birth rate per capita. D is the death rate per capita. So we will get the difference between the two, which is actually shows us the increase, and that is multiplied with the population density, that is n, right? So here this is b minus d is giving us what? The total increase in population. If we try to take out the birth rate and we try to take out the death rate in a particular year, in a particular area, then we will get this kind of the number which will shows us the total increase in the population, and this is actually represented by b minus d. Now suppose b minus d is replaced by r. So that time it will become dn by dt is equals to r into n. What is this r? This r is actually b minus d, and this r is also known as the intrinsic rate. Intrinsic rate. What is that? The intrinsic rate of natural increase. That means naturally when there is a population increase taking place, so obviously the birth rate will be more than the death rate, and b minus d, that time we can represent that one as r. This r is actually the intrinsic rate of natural increase. So here we get actually the formula for this exponential growth. This formula we have to be very careful enough. It is important. dn by dt is equals to rn. So this is the formula for this exponential growth that we are doing. So here we will try to now relate this with the graph. So now I will just show you all how can we represent this one in the graph. When we talk about the graph, we have the two axes over here. Now let me make it very much clear over here what is r. As I told you, this r is the intrinsic rate of natural increase. It is a very important parameter. It is a very important parameter which gives us the calculation, right, of the total increase in the population, and this parameter can change. Maybe d can become more than the birth rate. So there we will see there is a decline in the population if you think about it, right? So this parameter helps us to access the impact of the biotic and abiotic factors on the population growth, right? So what is the significance of this r? Here we can get the significance of r as this is a parameter which simply helps us to have an idea about or to access, okay, helps us to access the impact of biotic and abiotic factor, right? Impact of biotic and abiotic factor, okay, and that is impact is falling on what? On the population growth. Hope I am being able to explain what is r. This value of r, obviously it will vary. So r value varies. It is not constant. it is not constant because it changes with the space, with the timing. It is changing with a different place. Like suppose we can say, give an example like Norway, a kind of rat, we will see the intrinsic rate is 0.015, whereas a kind of a beetle which is there, for that the intrinsic rate can be 0.12. So the R value of human population can also be taken in different area, right? And now we will see over here the graph how it is. When we talk about the exponential growth graph, I will try to first draw the two axes. So which is very important to know the two axes. So one axis, that is the x-axis, we will take the time, right? And the y-axis, we will try to take n. What is n? N is actually the population density, right? So now when we talk about the exponential growth graph, then the graph will be showing somewhat the curve like this. This is what we call as the exponential graph, and if we just try to resemble that, we have already got it. dn by dt is equals to rn. dn by dt is equals to rn. So this is actually what is showing a kind of a graph of the exponential growth. Now in this case, obviously we have to know the K. This is very important, which is the carrying capacity. K is actually revealing the carrying capacity. Now what is the carrying capacity? Carrying capacity means over here that how much actually the nature will be able to support the population with a particular resource. Like suppose a population is somewhat like this, and the carrying capacity of this population we can say like this. So for this population, the carrying capacity we can reveal like this. This is the carrying capacity. Now if the population increases to some extent, carrying capacity will not be able to support that population, right? Suppose I will give you a very simple example from our life. If I have at my home, suppose I am alone in my home, or I am 3 members at my home, right? Now all of a sudden, suppose if 20 people come at my home saying that they are not getting the particular place to stay, right? Now that means the outside area is not letting them to stay, but they have to stay along with me, and I am giving them the place to stay. So what will happen? They will not become extinct. If no one is giving the place for that population to stay, so obviously the population can become extinct. So those people will be saved when I am giving them the particular area to stay. Now suppose if I have, for all the people, if I have the limitation of 1000 chapatis at my home, now what will happen if another person is coming from outside? I will not be able to share the chapati with that person, so that person will be starving. So my carrying capacity for 3 plus 20, that is 23 people, is only 1000 chapatis, right? So if anyone is coming from outside, I will not be able to provide that chapati to that particular person. So in that way, we can say the carrying capacity is 1000 chapatis for 23%. It will not exceed. So this is actually the carrying capacity how we define, right? Now here there is another form, the integral form of this derived equation. You have learnt your maths, so you know the integration. The integral form of this derived equation, how can we write? That is n. N is the population density, we know, that is nt. That means for the time t, that is now. Suppose for the time t, the population density is nt. And we will start from the original density, that is the n0, right? The nt is the population density after time t, and n0 is the population density at the time 0, where we have started calculating. So nt is equals to n0 into e to the power of rt. So what is e over here? The e is actually the base of the logarithm, right? And r is the intrinsic rate, right? And the time is the t. So what will happen? This is another formula. This is the integral formula of this particular derivation. So kindly remember this formula along with this. So here, because of this exponential growth, why we say this one? Because there is no limit to the population if there is a resource is too much, right? Unlimited resource, we see the graph is actually becoming like this. So this is in the shape of a J. So we can call this one as a J-shaped graph or the J graph, right? This is a J-shaped graph. So exponential growth graph is actually J-shaped graph. This you have to remember. Now, this pattern of graphical representation actually shows three phases. So let us first find out what are the three phases in this graph. First one is the lag phase. Like suppose if you take over here, for example, the time is becoming more, but when the time is actually traveling to becoming more, there is very less in this population, right? Very less. That means there is it has to have some time for the particular population to adjust with the surroundings. So that adjustment time is actually given as a lag phase, where we see so much of the reproduction is not taking place. The particular population has to get actually acclimatized with the particular surroundings. So here we see this particular phase. This actually we call as a lag phase. That means the population density is increasing in a very slow rate, right? Next we come to over here the too much, where there is a time gap is this much, and in this particular time gap, if you see, the population density has rise up to so much. So that is actually what we call as exponential growth. This particular phase is called as an exponential growth phase. Okay, exponential growth, right? In this case, we see there are lots of rapid increase in the population till when there is an enough food and enough space. But after attaining a upper growth limit, suppose we take this one as an upper growth limit, this will start declining, as well as it will the phase will come stable, right? It will come stable and for a period of time, and then it can decline abruptly, because at the same time when we see the population is increasing and increasing, then what will happen? There will be the effect on the resource. So the resource will not be so much. So what will happen? That time the resource will come to an end. Unlimited resource doesn't mean it is totally unlimited. It will make the growth in such a manner that the growth will be actually in an exponential format, and then the unlimited that growth will stop to some extent, because again there will be the limitation in this resource. So that will make the decline in the population. So that is actually what we call as a decline phase. So here we see that along with the time, if you talk about this much time is going, but there is no such rise in the population, right? So in this case we can say that it is a decline phase. That means in this phase it can become a particular kind of a stable population, right? So this results in the mass starvation. When there will be the decline, that means we can say this decline means the resources will come almost to an end. So when it will come to an end, obviously there will be no population growth. Why? Because the people will be starving, the organism will be starving for food, will be starving for the space. So in this case, that will lead to the mortality, and this is actually what we call as a population crash. So all of a sudden we will see the population crash is taking place. Hence any species growing in an unchecked favorable condition can achieve enormous size in a given time, and it can decline. So with this we come to an end with this exponential growth phase, and then we will move on to the next video where I will explain you the logistic growth phase. Thank you.